call the meeting to order. Thank you. Pursuant to Chapter 551, Title 5 of the Texas Government Code, the Texas Open Meetings Act, notice is hereby given that the City Commission of the City of Brownsville, Texas, in accordance with Article 5, Section 12 of the Charter of such city, will convene at a regular meeting on June 3rd, 2025 at 5 p.m. in the City Commission chambers that's located on the second floor of the Brownsville City Hall, Old Federal Building, located at 1001 East Elizabeth Street, Brownsville, Cameron County, Texas 78520. Mayor, may we conduct the roll call?
Yes, please.
Thank you. We'll start with Mayor Cowan.
Present.
Commissioner Brian Martinez.
Present.
Commissioner Villarreal.
Present.
Commissioner Macias. Commissioner Gowan. Commissioner De Leon.
Present.
Commissioner Cardenas. Perfect. We do have a quorum. The invocation will be led by Pastor Carlos Navarro, and following, we will have the Pledge of Allegiance of the flags of the United States and of the state of Texas.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's pray. Father in heaven, we come to you today and we thank you. We're so proud to be here. And we smell progress in the city. We can touch it, we can feel it. And we thank you so much. And this has been a result of good decisions being taken by the mayor, by the commissioners. And we're planning for the next generation to have a better city, a better quality of life in this beautiful city of Brownsville. Father, hurricane season is already here. And I come to you to ask you to please shield our city, bless our city, protect our citizens. And I'm asking you today for everyone here under this roof to be blessed. Bless the agenda and the decisions that the mayor and the commissioners are about to take to make a better city, a safer city, and a prosperous city. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
States of America. States. Nation. Yeah. Texas flag. Texas, one state.
Next, we have the proclamations. The first one is the National Gun Violence Awareness Day.
You guys can come up here, up to the front. This is a proclamation of the City Commission of Brownsville, Texas, recognizing and supporting National Gun Violence Awareness Day. Whereas every day, 125 people in the United States are killed by gun violence, and more than 260 are shot and wounded, with an average of more than 19,000 homicides every year. People in the United States are 26 times more likely to die from gun homicide than people in other high-income countries. Texas has 4,330 gun deaths every year, with a rate of 14.6 deaths per 100,000 people, a crisis that costs the state $51 billion each year, of which $1.1 billion is paid by taxpayers. Texas has the 25th highest rate of gun deaths in the United States. And whereas gun homicides and assaults are concentrated in cities with more than half of all gun homicides in the nation occurring in 42 cities, cities across the nation, including Brownsville, are working to end the senseless violence with evidence-based solutions and protecting public safety in the communities they serve in mayor's highest responsibility. Whereas support for the Second Amendment rights of law-abiding citizens goes hand in hand with keeping guns away from those who are a danger to themselves or others, mayors, council members, and law enforcement officers, in partnership with local violence intervention activists and resources, know their communities best, are most familiar with local crime activity and how to address it, and are best positioned to understand how to keep their citizens safe, as gun violence prevention is more important than ever, as we see gun violence continue to impact communities across the country. And whereas in January of 2013, Haida Pendleton was tragically shot and killed at the age of 15. And on June 6, to recognize the 28th birthday of Haida Pendleton, people across the United States will recognize National Gun Violence Awareness Day and wear orange in tribute to her and other victims of gun violence and the loved ones of those victims. The idea was inspired by a group of Haida's friends who asked their classmates to commemorate her life by wearing orange. They chose this color because hunters wear orange to announce themselves to other hunters when out in the woods, and orange is a color that symbolizes the value of human life. Anyone can join this campaign by pledging to wear orange on June 6, the first Friday in June 2025, to help raise awareness about gun violence. By wearing orange, people across the United States will raise awareness about gun violence and honor the lives of victims and survivors. We renew our commitment to reduce gun violence and pledge to do all we can to keep firearms out of the hands of people who should not have access to them, and encourage responsible gun ownership to keep our families and communities safe. Now, therefore, we, the members of the City Commission of the City of Brownsville, Texas, by virtue of the authority vested by the charter of said city, do hereby declare the first Friday of June, June 6, 2025, to be National Gun Violence Awareness Day, and encourage all citizens to support their local community's efforts to prevent the tragic effects of gun violence and to honor and value human lives. Done on this third day of June 2025, signed by the mayor and the city commission.
Good afternoon. My name is Leilani Hu. I'm a volunteer with RGV Mums Demand Action for Gun Sense in America. To Mayor John Cowan and City Commissioners, especially Dr. Rose Gowan and Linda Marcias, who sponsored this Wear Orange proclamation, a big thank you. We are extremely grateful for you recognizing National Gun Violence Awareness Day. You can be proud to be joining 6 other RGV cities with Wear Orange proclamation this year. Up until now, it's only been McAllen. McAllen's done it 5 years. So this year, we're really happy to have 7, including Brownsville. This is an annual event that takes place on the first Friday of June and marks the beginning of Wear Orange weekend. Wear Orange is dedicated to honoring the lives of Americans affected by gun violence and elevating advocates across the country who are demanding an end to gun violence by taking action. We commend the City of Brownsville for promoting a culture of health, including mental health and suicide prevention. Gun violence is now the leading cause of death among children and youth, while suicide is the second leading cause of death for those aged 10 to 24. Tragically, veteran suicide rates are at a 20-year high, with firearms being the most common method, accounting for 50% of all suicide deaths in Texas. Greater access to mental health services is just one part of the solution. Securing gun storage and red flag laws are crucial for prevention, and they need strong policy and funding support. We celebrate the Uvalde Strong Act recently passed by the Texas legislature, which mandates annual meetings between officers and school officials to develop active shooter response plans and enhance training for school shooter response. We wear orange to demand a future free from gun violence. This year, for Wear Orange, we are focused on not only raising awareness, but on many actionable steps that we can all take to protect our families and communities. From parents to community partners to law enforcement to elected leaders to responsible gun owners who securely store their guns to keep the community safe. This effort takes all of us. Today, Wear Orange has the support from coalition partners, cultural influencers, sports teams, city officials, mayors, law enforcement, faith leaders, public safety officials, survivors, students, teachers, mums, and other advocates all over the country. This year, community members across the United States are focusing on some of the concrete steps they can take to recommit to a culture of responsibility, safety, and power. Things like securely storing all firearms in homes and cars, and encouraging community members to be smart, which is a program we have, educational program. Having conversations about gun safety with family and friends, and building partnerships with local leaders, businesses, and organizations. Thank you for your support in creating a safer Brownsville. We are having a Wear Orange event in McAllen this Friday. Please visit wearorange.org for more information. Be Smart and statistical information is here for those interested. I've got some fact sheets and things. Thank you.
Next, we have a proclamation for Border Workers United.
If you're here for the proclamation, please step forward. So it is my honor to present this proclamation of the City Commission of Brownsville, Texas, recognizing and supporting Border Workers United. Whereas on June 16th, 2011, the International Labor Organization, or the ILO, adopted a landmark treaty, the Convention of Domestic Workers. And whereas an estimated 69 million domestic workers worldwide make a significant contribution to the global economy, the importance of their work. And whereas domestic workers who maintain hygienic environments with households have been at the forefront of serving families, one household at a time. And whereas lack of recognition as workers and multiple exploitations due to class, gender, race, and migrant status have exacerbated their vulnerabilities and exposed them. And whereas the ILO will be celebrating the 12th anniversary of Convention number 189 by publishing a new report on the situation of decent work for domestic workers. And now, therefore, we, the members of the City Commission of the City of Brownsville, Texas, by virtue of the authority vested by the charter of said city, do hereby recognize Border Workers United, done on this, the third day of June 2025, signed the mayor and the City Commission. Go ahead.
Buenas tardes. Mi nombre es Ana Laura Garrido, voluntaria con Border Workers United y soy trabajadora del hogar por más de 10 años. Estimado Mayor Cohen y comisionados de la ciudad, en nombre de todas las trabajadoras del hogar, quiero expresar nuestro más profundo agradecimiento por esta proclamación que recibimos hoy y que reconoce y valora nuestro trabajo. Este acto simbólico representa un paso importante hacia el reconocimiento de nuestra labor y el impacto positivo que tiene en la vida de tantas familias y en la comunidad general. Las trabajadoras del hogar desempeñamos un papel crucial en el cuidado y mantenimiento de los hogares, permitiendo que otras personas puedan realizar sus actividades con tranquilidad, sabiendo que sus seres queridos y sus hogares están en buenas manos. Sin embargo, muchas veces nuestro trabajo, que en el 2022 fue reconocido como esencial, hoy es invisibilizado y subvalorado. Esta proclamación significa para nosotras más que un simple reconocimiento. Es un mensaje poderoso que reconoce que nuestra contribución es necesaria y digna de respeto. Nos sentimos honradas de recibir este reconocimiento oficial y nos motiva a seguir trabajando con dedicación y orgullo. Agradecemos al Mayor Cohen y a los comisionados por su apoyo y por dar visibilidad a nuestra profesión. Este gesto nos inspira a seguir adelante en nuestra lucha por mejores condiciones laborales y por el respeto que merecemos. Gracias por escuchar nuestras voces y por valorar nuestro trabajo. Juntos estamos construyendo una comunidad más justa y equitativa. Atentamente a las trabajadoras del hogar. Muchas gracias.
And the next proclamation is to commend and honor the officers, Saraí Benavides, Victor Espirita, and Cassandra Guerrero.
As the officers come up, we'd like to take this time to recognize and commend our Brownsville police officers for their brave efforts with this proclamation today. The proclamation of the City Commission of Brownsville, Texas, honoring Officers Saraí Benavides, Victor Espitia, and Cassandra Guerrero. Whereas the City of Brownsville proudly recognizes the outstanding service and dedication of its police officers who go above and beyond the call of duty to protect and care for the most valuable members of our community. And whereas on April 3rd, 2025, Officers Saraí Benavides, Victor Espitia, and Cassandra Guerrero of the Brownsville Police Department responded to a welfare concern involving two children, ages 10 and 5, who had been left abandoned in a residence. Whereas Officer Victor Espitia located and placed the children's mother under arrest, ensuring the safety and protection of the children. And whereas Officers Cassandra Guerrero observed signs of hunger from one of the children who, as consuming Jell-O snacks with urgency, and learned that the children had last eaten only a single taquito earlier that morning, despite the time now being 10:30 p.m. And whereas recognizing the immediate need to provide for the children's well-being, Officer Guerrero radioed Officer Saraí Benavides, who compassionately and without hesitation purchased and delivered a warm meal for the children. And whereas the coordinated efforts and compassionate response of Officers Benavides, Espitia, and Guerrero reflect the highest standards of public service and exemplify the Brownsville Police Department's core value of service from the heart. And whereas their actions not only safeguarded the physical health of the children, but also provided comfort, care, and dignity during a traumatic experience. Now, therefore, we, the members of the City Commission of the City of Brownsville, Texas, by the virtue of the authority vested by the Charter of said city, do hereby commend and honor Officers Saraí Benavides, Victor Espitia, and Cassandra Guerrero for their extraordinary service and extend our deepest gratitude for their unwavering commitment to compassion and excellence in law enforcement. Done on this day, the 3rd day of June, 2025, signed by the Mayor and City Commission.
Good evening, Officer Espitia. On behalf of my partners, Sandra Guerrero and Benavides, we're truly honored to be receiving this proclamation. Thank you, Chief. Thank you, your command staff, in particular Sergeant Garza, for taking into consideration our actions that day. But in all honesty, it wasn't really my actions, it was my partner's actions, which are truly reflect what the department's philosophy and commitment to service from the heart is. Thank you. Again, you all have a good evening. Thank you.
Next, we'll have the public comment period. The public comment input during the meetings under number 1, under conduct, states that conversations between and among audience members should be conducted outside the meeting room, and that attendees should refrain from conversations while commission is in session. B, cell phones, that attendees must refrain from the operation and use of the cellular telephones, pagers, etc., or any other mechanical devices that may disrupt the city commission proceedings. C, placards, banners, or signs are not permitted in the commission chambers or in any other room in which the city commission conducts a meeting. Included in this prohibition are the various hats, caps, visors, and T-shirts, which may represent the sentiments as alluded to in regards to the placards, banners, and/or signs. D, exhibits, displays, and visual aids used in connection with the presentation to the city commission are permitted. E, only the city commission members and city staff may approach the dais. If a report, letter, etc. is to be presented to the commission, it should be given to the city secretary or staff who will make the distribution. It is preferable that the item is to be distributed be given to the city secretary prior to the meeting. A copy of the item should be available for the official record. F, all comments shall be made to the mayor and the city commission as a whole and not to the individual commission members. Mayor and the city commission, we did receive 3 that were pre-registered before the deadline. However, we did receive 1 here. You may suspend the rules to accept the 4th one.
I move to suspend the rules.
Second.
All right, we have a motion second. Any further discussion? Not all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Ayes have it, motion
Perfect.
carries.
Thank you. We will start with Cesar Mirla. I don't see none. The second one is Yolanda Spies.
Good afternoon. I've been coming here nearly every first and third Tuesday for the past 3 years. After so many Tuesdays, after so many chances to speak, to ask, to hope something might change, I find myself repeating the same concern, just with more urgency, and yet still no action. There comes a point when silence feels like complicity and enabling, and I can't pass this one over anymore. If I were sitting in your seat, with your power, your platform, and your responsibility, I'd want to know what was wrong, if something indeed was wrong, or if something bad was happening. I'd want to investigate, not because I've already decided someone is guilty, but because when a community raises the same red flags again and again, the only responsible thing to do is look into it. Really look into it. Why is it that when some of us feel the need to call the police, we hesitate? Why does it feel like the last resort instead of the first place to turn for help? There's this quiet fear that follows us, even when everything is in order. Our license is valid, our car is fine, we're not doing anything wrong, and still, when an officer drives by, our stomach drops and tightens. That's not peace, that's not safety, that's not normal, but it's become commonplace, and that should not be okay. And while I understand this is a national issue, my question is, why can't Brownsville be better and different? Why not lead by example? Why not be the city where protect and serve means something? Showing up, building trust, being respectful, and engaging in community events, not just traffic stops and arrests and abusive behavior from the good guys. We've seen what happens when the badge becomes a shield for ego rather than a symbol of service. And I believe This community deserves more than bullies and thugs with badges. Proactive leadership means asking the hard questions and taking action before someone gets hurt or killed. It means acknowledging that fear is not the foundation for public trust. Action, courtesy, professionalism is though. I stay up here because I have 3 minutes. I'm not going anywhere. Till that beeper goes off.
Next, we have Diablo Velez.
My name is Diablo Velez. I'm poor and I'm hungry. I went to jail for soliciting, whatever that means. I don't know how the government works. I don't know anything about public policy. Look, pay attention. According to the Supreme Court ruling, money is freedom of expression. What that means is that the Americans can do whatever they want with their money. For example, when I soliciting, I am acting under the umbrella on the constitutional right given by the Americans so they can do whatever they want with their money, including giving money to those who are soliciting. What is missing in the ruling of the Supreme Court is granting protection to third parties, meaning granting protection to the people, to the poor and to the hungry who are soliciting. Therein, the city ordinance resolution prohibits soliciting in the city right-of-ways, meaning the streets and the sidewalks. The intent in that resolution is blocking. My opinion, blocking is not the intent. What I mean by the intent is the intention that the city have to write such a resolution. Blocking is not. Blocking otherwise is the prohibition. Furthermore, the city is at fault for not clearly specifying the intention for writing such a resolution. Also, the city is criminalizing the constitutional right given by the Supreme Court, so Americans can do whatever they want with their money. In this case, I wanted to advise you that, Helen Ramirez, that the word blocking is not right on that resolution. Later, I will
you, sir.
explain you why.
Next, we have Sal Garza.
Good to see you guys. I haven't attended a meeting in years. Thank you for all you do. I know you guys try your best to do as a mayor and commissioners. I'm here, I've contacted Commissioner De Leon about some bar fights. I know I only got 3 minutes, so I'll try to be concise. But there seems to be a safety concern issue going on at, I think it's Sunrise Plaza. That in specific, there's like 8 bars there. I don't know what we can do to make it safer for our youth. Too many fights every weekend. Kids are recording it, putting it on social media. It's got to a point where it's embarrassing, you know. It's not us. That's not who we are. Brownsville, that's not us, you know. We don't do that. It's not appropriate behavior. And I think as a city, we just need to find a way to control it. I'm sure it'll happen again this weekend. There'll be another video. It's getting out of control. What can we do to maybe put the onus on the bar owners, maybe have more security? I don't think it's fair for our Brownsville police officers to be sitting there taking care of them while they misbehave, arresting the kids. I mean, that's not the point. I'm okay with them having a good time, but getting into fights, recording them, uploading them, it's just too chaotic. And it's not fair for all the other residents in Brownsville where they also need safety, you know. ED can't be concerned just with that area. They need to be concerned with the whole city. And we lack manpower with police officers and stuff like that. So, and I don't know how the permit department allowed 8 bars to be in one plaza. Where do they park? Now we have parking concerns, people walking on the streets. It's just out of control. And it's not Commissioner De Leon's responsibility. I think we all have a little bit of responsibility, shared responsibility. And hopefully we could create a plan where it could be safer for everyone. That's it. Thank you for all you do.
Thank you.
And Mayor and Commission, TOMA does allow us to state facts or policy. And so in response to the gentleman's concerns, the Brownsville Police Department and the City Attorney's Office, with a collaboration with the City Manager's Office, we're all working on an operation so that we can have some kind of enforcement with notices going out this week. And so we are working on it, but factually, that's what we can state under TOMA.
Thank you.
Next, we have the presentations, which is the legislative recognition of City Commissioner at-large B, Dr. Rose M.Z. Gowen. Congressman Vincent Gonzalez. This is State Representative.
Good afternoon. First of all, I'd like to thank the mayor, the commissioners, and the city manager's office for the opportunity to be here. It is an honor and a privilege for me to be here to recognize a special woman. A woman that is not only kind and giving, but a strong visionary and a true leader. A woman that exemplifies the word servant. Dr. Gowen, I want to thank you for all the sacrifices you've made away from your family to serve our community. For those that don't know me, my name is Laura Matamoros. I'm the district director for Congressman Vicente Gonzalez. Unfortunately, the congressman could not be here today, but he did request a flag be flown over the United States Capitol in honor of Dr. Gowen for her over 16 years of invaluable service to our community. He also presented a congressional record on the U.S. House of Representatives floor recognizing your service, and I will read that for you today. Congressional record honoring Dr. Rose M.Z. Gowen for 16 years of public service, the Honorable Vicente Gonzalez of Texas in the House of Representatives, the 3rd day of June in 2025. Mr. Gonzalez of Texas, Mr. Speaker, I rise to honor Dr. Rose M.Z. Gowen for 16 noble years of public service as City Commissioner at-large B for the City of Brownsville, Texas. Dr. Gowen was elected in 2009 and has served in office since then. In her time as City Commissioner, she has demonstrated an unwavering commitment to public health and improving the quality of life for all the residents of Brownsville. Dr. Gowen's dedication to promoting healthy lifestyles in our community has not gone unnoticed. Her work has led to many programs which have proven beneficial to the health and well-being of our community. These programs include the establishment of the Brownsville Farmers Market and the Ciclovia event, which provide nutritious food and exercise through cycling, respectively. In addition, Dr. Gowan also spearheaded the RGV Challenge, an annual 12-week health initiative which has encouraged massive community change in health and wellness. This, in addition to her leadership in advocating for sustainable infrastructure, such as the Caracara Trails, which is nearly 430 miles of outdoor trails connecting communities across Texas. All these projects highlight Dr. Gowan's loyal commitment to the betterment of our community. Brownsville is lucky to have public servants who display this level of dedication and drive to create positive change in our region. I am proud to represent communities like Brownsville and the wonderful public servants who continue to make it a better place to live. Mr. Speaker, I wish to congratulate Dr. Rose Gowan for celebrating 16 years of public service, and I yield back the remainder of my time. Signed this 3rd day of June, 2025, Vicente Gonzalez, Member of Congress, representing the 34th District of Texas. Thank you again, Dr. Gowan, for all the years of dedicated service.
I want to thank Congressman Gonzalez very much for thoughtfulness and pretty amazing stuff. And it was a pleasure to work with my team because it was not a singular effort, as I've said before, and I'll keep it at that. Thank you, all of you who were on the team.
Next, we have the State Senator Adam Hinojosa.
Congratulations, Ms. Gowan. We didn't get a flag, but we got you a gavel. And your crew and your staff, we did everything to get it imprinted for you so that we could do it. Let me read it for you. This presentation is given to Ms. Honorable Rose M.Z. Gowan, M.D., City Commissioner at Large B, for the years of public service from 2009 to 2025, for 16 years of public service, presented on June 3rd, 2025, from the State Senator Adam Hinojosa. And we also have a resolution from the state. Let me read it for you. This is the State Resolution number 548. Whereas Dr. Rose M.Z. Gowan is concluding her service as a Brownsville City Commissioner in May 2025, drawing to a close and outstanding tenure spanning 16 years. And whereas first elected to the Brownsville City Commission at Large B position in 2009, Dr. Gowan has since used her background as a practicing physician to identify and address health needs in the community. She has spearheaded a number of wellness initiatives, including Ciclovia Series and the Challenge RGV, an annual event that has engaged more than 12,000 participants. And whereas Dr. Gowan was also key in forging a partnership between the City of Brownsville and the University of Texas Health Science Center at Houston School of Public Health and Brownsville, resulting in such a transformative projects such as the Brownsville Farmers Market, which garnered the Certificate of Excellence from the U.S.-Mexico Border Health Commission. In addition, she helped promote the Vibrant Lecture Series, the Build a Better Block Program, and the revitalization of Market Square. And whereas a champion of the sustainable infrastructure, Dr. Gowan co-authored the plan for the Cara Cara Trails Project, a 428-mile route network that connects communities across Cameron County. It also played an important role in the completion of the West Road Trail, which provides an essential link into the city's trail loop. Her leadership was instrumental in Brownsville receiving a 2014 Cultural of Health Prize from the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation and an All-American City Award from the National Civic League. And whereas through her expertise in medicine, public policy, and community building, Rose Gowan has helped set Brownsville on a course to an even brighter future. And she may indeed reflect with pride on her accomplishments as she embarks on the next exciting chapter of her life. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Senate of the State of Texas, 89th Legislature, hereby congratulate Dr. Rose Gowan, MZ Gowan, on her retirement as a Brownsville City Commissioner and extend to her the most sincere best wishes from continued success in all her endeavors, and it be further resolved that an official copy of this resolution be prepared for Dr. Gowan as an expression of her high regard from the Texas Senate. Signed, Hinojosa Nueces, Dan Patrick, President of the Senate. And then I hereby certify that the above resolution was adopted by the Senate on May 21st, 2025. The Secretary of State, Patsy Shaw, and the member of the Texas Senate. So congratulations.
Next, we have State Representative Erin Gomez.
Good evening, Mayor, Commissioners. Such an honor and privilege to be here today. My name is Georgette Betancourt Medellin, and I am the District Director for State Representative Erin Gomez. I am honored to read the resolution on behalf of this House of State Representatives. The following states, whereas Dr. Rose MZ Gowan is concluding her service as a Brownsville City Commissioner in May 2025, drawing to a close an outstanding tenure spanning 16 years. And whereas first elected to the Brownsville City Commission at-large B position in 2009, Dr. Gowan has since used her background as a practicing physician to identify and address health needs in the community. She has spearheaded a number of wellness initiatives, including the Cyclopia Series and the Challenge RGV, an annual event that has engaged more than 12,000 participants. And whereas Dr. Gowan was also key in forging a partnership between the City of Brownsville and the University of Texas Health Science Center at Houston School of Public Health, Brownsville, resulting in such transformative projects as the Brownsville Farmers Market, which garnered the Certificate of Excellence from the U.S.-Mexico Border Health Commission. In addition, she helped promote the Vibrant Lecture Series, the Build a Better Block program, and the revitalization of Market Square. And whereas a champion of sustainable infrastructure, Dr. Gowan co-authored the plan for the Cara Cara Trails project, a 428-mile route network that connects communities across Cameron County. She also played an important role in the completion of the West Rail Trail, which provides an essential link in the city's trail loop. Her leadership was instrumental in Brownsville receiving a 2014 Culture of Health Prize from the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation and an All-American City Award from the National Civic League. And whereas, through her expertise in medicine, public policy, and community building, Rose Gowan has helped set Brownsville on a course to an even brighter future, as she may indeed reflect with pride on her accomplishments as she embarks on the next exciting chapter of her life. Now, therefore, be it resolved that Dr. Rose M. Z. Gowan be congratulated on her retirement as a Brownsville City Commissioner, and that she be extended sincere best wishes for continued success in all of her endeavors. Signed, State Representative, District 38, Erin Elizabeth Gomez.
Mayor, I've been asked to make one more statement on behalf of Commissioner Gowan. Rose, I have never spoken in a meeting in the 16 years you have served, but I wanted to break into a meeting finally and say to you how incredibly proud I am of you and your accomplishments. I have had a front row seat to the work, effort, and passion you have manifested for the betterment of our city. This city is so much a better place for these efforts. I know already you won't stop your efforts, and I love you for it. Jeff.
Thank you, Alan.
That is for the record.
But now if Jeff misbehaves, I have the perfect. Just kidding. Thank you, Alan.
Next, we have the city manager's update. Number one is the organizational development and human resources was honored with the Texas Municipal Human Resources Association Human Resources Impact Award.
Mayor and Commissioner, the OD and HR department received the TMHRA Impact Award for cities over 100,000 population for 2025. I do want to note that the department previously won the award in 2023 as well. This prestigious award recognizes local government human resources departments that have demonstrated outstanding leadership through innovative programs and services designed to solve municipal human resource challenges and enhance organizational culture. The City of Brownsville OD and HR department was recognized for its impactful initiatives that have delivered measurable results and meaningful change within the organization over the past 18 months. These initiatives include comprehensive benefit expansion impacting employee satisfaction and work-life balance. And some of these initiatives included 40 hours of additional vacation, 2 new holidays, and flexible work schedules. The addition of the Frontier Clinic for employees that provide services with no deductible or out-of-pocket while simultaneously reducing costs to the city. Added city-paid vision insurance plan. We added pet insurance as a supplemental program that's paid for by our employees. However, with the power of our number of employees, this insurance is much more affordable. They instituted the Women's Leadership Conference that had over 260 attendees for its first year. And they initiated the Brownsville Safety Ambassador Program that extends our safety and risk program into the departments, measurably reducing our accidents and claims. And we want to thank the commission on behalf for funding all of these initiatives. Without your leadership, none of this would be possible. So congratulations to our OD and HR department for this well-deserved recognition.
I would like to thank the mayor and the city commission. This is City Manager Helen Ramirez. And just, I think what Alan said it correctly when he said that without your support, we wouldn't be able to receive these types of awards. So it's very important because you care about our employees.
The next item on the city manager's update is Invest RGV Economic Forum. The City of Brownsville City Manager, Ms. Helen Ramirez, was formally invited to serve as a panelist at the Invest RGV Economic Forum and Awards ceremony that was hosted by the RGV Women's Chamber of Commerce on Friday, May 9th. This premier event convenes regional leaders and stakeholders to engage in critical dialogue on economic development, public safety, international trade, innovation, and community advancement throughout South Texas. As part of the panel spotlight on economic growth in the RGV, Ms. Ramirez has been recognized for her leadership in economic development, strategic investments, and public-private partnerships. This expertise offered the panel with invaluable insight into the evolving economic landscape of the Rio Grande Valley and provide guidance on effective regional growth strategies. With an audience comprising foreign and domestic investors, business leaders, and economic stakeholders, Invest RGV presents a unique platform to showcase the City of Brownsville's leadership and commitment to our regional progress. So it extends one city to one region.
I would just like to thank our chamber and our Greater Brownsville Incentive Corporation and the Brownsville Community Improvement Corporation. We were all together as one EDC. And that just shows the pictures of, how we're working collaboratively to maximize all our resources and really represent and support not only the city, but the region in economic development. Thank you.
Next, we are moving to the consent agenda items.
I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Before you second it, we do have a quick request, not to pull it, but as part of your motion, Commissioner, if you would include that items 4 and 5 that relate to the Emergency Services District would be approved subject to the city manager's and city attorney's final approval.
So my motion is to approve with the addition of number 4 and 5, subject to approval of the city manager.
City attorney.
Correct.
Okay, so moved.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Not all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Ayes have it, motion carries.
Next is the public hearing. Item number 1 is a public hearing and action on the first reading on ordinance number 2025-1770 to annex into the city of Brownsville boundary limits a property described as being 12.971 acres of land consisting of the Espiritu Santo Grant Share 14, 199.877 acres out of 221.517 acres out of 538.836 acres, tracts number 6, 7, and 12. Abstract 2, 199.877 acres, Cameron County, Texas, located on Summer Hill Boulevard, Brownsville, Texas, 78520.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor, Commissioners. So this petition is a voluntary annexation petition to include these 12.971 acres into the city of Brownsville corporate limits. The petition is forwarded by Olmedo Development LLC, and this will be a future single-family development fronting Summerhill Boulevard. These 12 acres are part of the 5th section of the Summer Lakes development. So the area is pretty much developed already. There's going to be a total of 8 to 10 sections. This petition was performed under the Texas Local Government Code, Chapter 43. Everything was done in accordance through the voluntary petition to annex, written service agreement, public hearing, proper noticing to the newspaper, and noticing to schools and public entities. This is the map showing the area that is being annexed. The yellow polygon represents the 12.9 acres. And this is the survey representing those 12.9 acres. Just in this area, there will be approximately between 55 to 65 lots. And this only makes up half of the section of the development. So across the street of Summerhill Boulevard, the other half of the development will be taking place. It's about a total of 128 lots. And so staff recommends the approval to annex these 12.971 acres into the city of Brownsville.
Thank you, Martin. Any questions or comments from the commission? All right, this is a public hearing. If there's anyone here that wishes to address the commission on this item, please step forward.
Move to close public hearing.
We have a motion to close in a second. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Ayes have it, motion carries.
Move to approve.
We have a motion to approve and a second. Any further discussion on this item? If not, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Ayes have it, motion carries.
Public hearing, item number 2 is a public hearing and action on the first reading on ordinance number 2025-1771 to annex into the city of Brownsville boundary limits a property described as being 25 acres of land consisting of abstract 2 UNSUB south of Highway TR 12A PT 3030.424 share 1 track D 16.8400 AC Cameron County, Texas, located on New Carmen Avenue, Brownsville, Texas 78520.
Again, this is another voluntary petition to annex into the corporate city limits, 25 acres. The petition is forwarded by Racha Ranch LLC. For this particular tract, it will be future to a single-family residence. The entire 25 acres will be used for this one home. It's fronting New Carmen Avenue. And again, the petition to annex was all performed in accordance to Texas Local Government Code Chapter 43. And this is the portion that's being annexed into the city. The yellow polygon represents the tract. And again, this will be used for a single-family home. There is an existing warehouse on the property. Now, just to provide some additional context, they will be using this property also to create an easement that will service a future subdivision. So again, to provide some additional background, the petitioner is a sister company of the previous annexation that we just presented. The sections from Summer Lakes will be extending about directly to the east of this particular tract. So that's why they will be using that parcel to provide connection and utilities to that future development. And this is a survey of the property. The developer is aware that they will have to develop the property and install all the required infrastructure so that it's habitable and operable for a single-family home, and again, to provide the utilities for the future development. And so staff recommends the approval to annex these 25 acres of land into the city.
All right. Any questions or comments from the commission? All right, this is a public hearing. If there's anyone here that wishes to address the commission on this item, please step forward.
Move to close public hearing, Mayor.
All right, we have a motion and a second to close public hearing. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Ayes have it, motion carries.
Move to approve.
All right, we have a motion to approve. We have a second. We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Ayes have it, motion carries. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
Mayor, may we move into executive session?
Yes, please. I'll entertain a motion. We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Ayes have it, motion carries.
Item number 1 for the executive session is a closed session pursuant to the Texas Government Code Section 551.071 and .072 in related to the RFI respondents for the Brownsville Museum of Fine Arts building. Item number 2 is closed session pursuant to the Texas Government Code Sections 551.071 and .72 and 551.087 related to projects Force, Wind, and Refresh. The City Commission will enter into executive session at 6:03.
We need one more.
Help.
Mayor, may we reconvene from executive session?
Yes, please.
Thank you, that the city commissioners are reconvened at 7:42 PM. Is there any possible actions on any item as discussed? Starting with action item number 1.
Yes, we have action here.
Consider action, if any, on a lease agreement related to the RFI for the building formerly known as the Brownsville Museum of Fine Arts, and authorizes the city manager to negotiate and execute the same.
Oh, wait, I have it. I'm so sorry. I thought it was the second one. I'm sorry. I'll wake up now. I make a motion to approve a lease and operations agreement which serves a public purpose with the Midi Cultural District related to the RFI for the building formerly known as the Brownsville Museum of Fine Arts. And motion the city and authorize the city manager to negotiate and execute the same.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion on this item? If not, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say nay. Ayes have it, motion carries.
Adjournment.
All right.
So moved.
We have a motion and
Second.
a second to adjourn. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say nay. Ayes have it, meeting adjourned.
The time is 7:44 PM.